Hello everyone, this is Ming Jong. Welcome to today's market analysis for the S&P 500 E-minutes futures for the session of 27th of August. In this video, I am going to show you the market recap during the last session and a trade review in the 3 minutes time frame, which I will cover the entry, the exits, and the rationale behind. And going forward, I will cover the bias, the key levels that I pay attention to, and also my trading plan for the session later. All right, so let's just get started. As we can see in this daily chart for the S&P 500, so again, yesterday was another bullish day, and look at the past 5 trading sessions. So we just went straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, fifth. So we have a good rally up, and the rally actually started right after these two very good absorption bar, and together for the past 3 days we have seen a relatively great rally, and without really any kind of the meaningful reaction. So definitely the bull is still very much intact. And if we just take a look at the trend line analysis, so I do think that we have a very high chance to see the S&P just go straight up to hit at least the overbought region here, overbought line of the uptrend channel, maybe very close to 3500 or even 3525 or 30. So this portion there. Anyway, I will just talk more on the current situation and the outlook. But before I do that, let me just get down to the hourly time frame, and let's talk about what's happening yesterday for the yesterday session, including the London and European session plus the US session. And yeah, we can see that just prior to the US opening, definitely you can see this very shallow consolidation. And so this is the prior US session. So close at a high there. And subsequently from the Asian session through the London European session, just consolidating within this super tight range. And at the US opening here at about 9:30 my time, 9:30 p.m. my time, we see that we have a very shallow type of the reaction, and eventually created this demand tail, and followed by a very strong rally up, and eventually just close at a high. So look at this last hour bar here, and created this bullish bar here. So definitely another bullish session and a very trendy day for during the US session, because we have a very tight consolidation during the Globex period, and followed by a very nice strong trend up during the US session. And in terms of the volume, I think is pretty much very healthy, and especially when we look at the first 2 hours, about 9 o'clock bar and the 10 o'clock bar, the volume is lower than the previous day and also 2 days ago as well. So definitely this is a very healthy type of a volume. And we do see some kind of the reaction sell off on the 2 a.m. bar, my time zone at about 2 a.m. But look at that. So this is the results. We have this kind of the rejection bar, and followed by the close near the low. But the next bar, the last hour bar, just push the price up and close near the high. So definitely is a straight bullish session. So far, nothing shows very much threatening action. Everything still seems pretty normal and bullish to me. And let me just get down to the 3 minutes time frame, and let me review a trade that I initiated as a long trade, which I actually anticipate a breakout just before the breakout happened. So let me just give you a bit of the context for the trade. So this is the trading range that's created from the Asian session through the European London session, or I think into the US session as well. So prior to that, we had the session, we have this kind of the great rally during the previous day session, and subsequently we just have this kind of the localized distribution structure, which created this change of character, which actually changed the trading environment from the previous trending environment into this range. This is a trading range, and look at the range, and it's pretty much at 34.37 to 34.47. So it's just a 10-point tight range. So this trade actually happened about 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. my time. So it's about half an hour after the US opening. So let me just walk you through this. And before the US opening, so this is the opening bar here. And just right before the US opening, we have somewhat created this kind of the uptrust action, and that followed by a reaction down. And look at the opening bar. So it's a reaction bar with this demand tail here. So this is a demand tail, suggests some kind of the demand come in. But just take a look subsequent what happened. So we have this reaction down and followed by another test. We try to push the price down, but we didn't really get this kind of the lower low result. In fact, the price actually resolved itself via this kind of the localized spring type of the action. So this is the previous low, or you can even take this. So this bar here, this bullish bar, and with the increasing of the volume, actually just spring the previous low and close near the high. So definitely, I think this type of the reaction actually just resolved itself and signal that wants to have a rally up. So here comes the rally, which is these two bar together, these two bullish bar, and which actually acted as a slight or minor change of character out from this relatively downtrend or shortening of the downward thrust with this kind of a little descending wedge. So just a breakout from this wedge pattern here, and followed by a very tight consolidation, and eventually we have seen this confirmation bar as a breakout bar to confirm the uptrend. So I just enter right at this big bullish bar here. So the reason I enter at this bar is because, first of all, let me zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so first of all, if I pay attention to this reaction, this is the downtrend reaction, definitely we have seen the shortening of the thrust and also shortening of the down wave as well in a much lower time frame. But if you just purely look at the 3 minutes candle, you can spot it easily with this kind of the descending wedge. So that actually suggests the momentum to the downside is exhausted. So the bear is getting tired, and subsequently it actually resolved itself via the localized spring. So this bar, together with the increase of the demand, just spring the prior low and eventually close near the high. And subsequently, it actually break out from this downtrend with this another bullish bar here. And next comes to this shallow type of the reaction. So instead of having the retracement or the pullback like the previous reaction here, so here is a reaction as a consolidation or just a horizontal type of the reaction to just consolidate sideways. And if we just take a look at the volume signature here, so this bar is bearish bar and followed by another attempt to break out, but we see some supply with a rejection tail. And this bar is a bit interesting because we have seen a spike of the supply. but look at the results. So if we just compare this bar with the spike of the supply level together with this bearish bar here, so these two bar alone, definitely in terms of the supply level has gone up. But in terms of the results, I think in terms of spread, it's slightly bigger. Although it might look similar, but I think it's slightly bigger spread here. But the intent doesn't really fulfill. It just created a higher low here. So definitely, I think this is kind of the bullish action, and that actually confirmed by the next bar. So next bar has seen the increase of the demand. If you compare to this, definitely and acted as a reversal bar and as a confirmation. So this is where I actually enter my long trade with the anticipation to the upside to break out of the prior swing high level. So as you can see that the breakout didn't really happen immediately. In fact, I just waited for another very shallow type of the pullback, reversal, another horizontal type of the consolidation, and only until about 10:30 p.m. my time have seen this breakout happen. And right after that, it's just another upsloping type of the consolidation, and followed by a it's a reaction. So if we just zoom out a little bit here, so this is a very pretty much like a textbook style trading range. So this is a range, and this is like the phase C, and followed by a sign of strength rally. So after the sign of strength rally, we have seen this kind of the pullback as a backup action, which barely touched the supporting area here. This is a supporting area, is just tested at the higher low here, and followed by a strong rally up. So this is how it happens. And let me just zoom in a little bit and talk about the exit. So my exit is right at this little bar here. So the reason I exit the trade first of all is because we have seen this increasing of the volume here. So this is quite a significant amount of the volume if we compare to the past volume here. So especially you just take the first few candles as the opening candles. So it's just a very high volume level. So this suggests that supply actually emerged. So we have start from I think this bar followed by the second bar, and the third bar actually seen this really the volume spike at the highest level. And but in terms of the results, we are still going up. But look at what's happened next. So this bar here actually provided me a clue that there is emergence of the supply, which actually kept the price from moving up further. So if we just compare these two bar and volume together, so this bar has the highest volume, but the next bar here actually has slightly lower type of a volume. If I want to compare, I think I can say that the volume level is similar, but look at the results. So in terms of the distance travel, I think we just have little bits of the progress here rather than compared to this big bullish bar here. And in terms of the spread, then definitely we have a really small spread bar compared to this big spread bar here. So this actually suggested that this is a presence of the supply to keep the price from moving up further. So at that point, I just exited my trade at the close of the bar. But you can see that right after the close of the bar, we still have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, about another 7 bars to push higher. So the presence of the supply doesn't mean that the price need to reverse immediately. So really, this is an early exit, and the reaction actually started 7 bars after 7 bars, and we have this kind of the pullback as a reaction. So overall, this is a very profitable trade for me, about reward to risk ratio of 2.3. And subsequently, right after the peak created at a high here, we have seen that the S&P just go into the consolidation via this kind of the triangle, and eventually have another breakout and push up. So very bullish kind of the action. And at around 2 a.m. My time here, have seen this kind of the relatively meaningful reaction, but the results wasn't that bearish. In fact, it's just a test of that prior consolidation area, and eventually just close near the high. And last hour actually pushed the price up from 3 o'clock onwards. So that's from here onwards, we just see the price move up. All right. So this is the trade review for yesterday's session. And let me just go down to the hourly time frame, and let's talk about the current situation and my trading plan. So far, I think we still pretty much stuck within this type of the shallow type of the reaction. Nothing happening so far. I think it's probably waiting for the Powell speaking. And in terms of the trading plan, I do hope to see a test of this last hour bar. So this is a last hour bar, and I hope to see a test and maybe a bounce up, and to initiate a long entry right there. So the level is around 3460 to around 3470. So this is the level that I will be watching to see whether we got any price reaction at these levels. Otherwise, this type of the swing levels will definitely be worth watching, about 3450. So far, I think these two levels are decent. And in terms of the resistance level, definitely I think we are just hit that 3480, and think around 3480 to 3500 could provide some kind of the resistance. But until we see some meaningful reaction, definitely I don't think there is anything threatening so far. And in terms of the bias, for the long-term bias, definitely still go up. For day trading, I just tend to keep a neutral stance. So I talk about the key levels and my potential trading plan, which will be to watch a test of the last hour bar. If not, test of the subsequent level at around 3450 area or 3440. So this is my plan. And this is the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it and find it useful. So if you like it, just click like and also hover to my name or picture to follow me. And remember to subscribe to my channel so that you get instant notification of my future video ideas. And as usual, if you have any kind of the questions, comments, or suggestions, or simply just would like to share some trade ideas with me, feel free to comment it below. I will reply to you. And thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon.